Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Brew and Build. Today, we are back, of course, in this area, this little shoot off of the Steampunk City. I have been doing some work. As you saw, I know I have a little bit of a time lapse. It's not gonna probably be the greatest of time lapses, but I had an idea as to how to improve upon the portal here. And so, what you see is sort of the beginning of this area's real focus for the Steampunk City. This portal requires a lot of power. And I was trying to figure out sort of an explanation as to why there's these black bands that go across. And so right now, because we don't have Crying Obsidian, we can't get rid of them. And because even if we do get Crying Obsidian, as of right now, it doesn't make it so you can have a portal made out of it. And so what I've decided to do is I've added these sort of wiring type of things. So essentially it's like power, where the lamps are, that's where power is coming out of, and it is being wired into right there. And then you see this is all changed out from walls to having stone cutters, and it looks almost like wiring that goes all the way down. And the idea is that each of the gold areas are kind of like, I guess in redstone terms, think of them as like repeaters, giant repeaters. So like the power goes down, hits this, gets amped back up again. It can continue powering the portal. And this is sort of like geothermal, the representation of like geothermal energy. And so this is kind of like, as long as it's maintaining a certain heat, that this is showing that the power is on, and that it is really, really, I don't know, it's on. The power's on. So I thought this was a cool way. I like the little portal things that we had up there, but I like this look a bit more. And as you saw in the time lapse, if we can, okay, I guess we're going over here. I didn't mean to, but the oceans still with Optifine really are a little laggy when loading. They're not too bad, but it's not really that fun. As you saw, I have been also working on the sort of the layout, figuring out where this mountain is going to be. And so this is kind of weird looking right now because we don't have the giant water wheel that's right here. And we will build that up here soon, but we're working on that side right there. Decided to go ahead and get into a little bit of water wheel design and sort of like getting into a little bit of the aesthetic, but not too much. We're going to be building there a lot today. But what's going to be going here, this is essentially just going to be like a cliff extension area just to make it so it's not so flat. And there's going to be, this is sort of the marking of where a big pipe is going to be. And so some of you were kind of curious as to why all these cliffs are really sheer. And all I can say about that is that this is not, it's supposed to almost feel like not totally natural, if that makes sense. Almost like the Steampunk City found this mountain and has transformed it over time. Wow. Did not even notice that, dude. I need some more rockets. Do I have any? No. And so it's supposed to be both natural feeling and a little bit unnatural feeling. And so that may be what you're seeing a little bit. Also realize that this is just really rough outlines, especially up here. Very, very rough outlines. And one other thing to note is that when you are seeing this side being very sheer, of course, I'm going to be building the bottoms out like similar. So you see how this mountain is. This side is very, very flat on the other side where the portal is, but this side is very sloped down, and like as it gets to the base, really expands. We're going to do that on this. This is just sort of defining where the main sheer portion is going to be. And then probably when we get to this line, that is where it's going to start really building out, and we're going to fill it out into this area a bit more. And so, yeah, don't worry about it being not as realistic looking as what real cliffs would be. It is supposed to be realistic to a point, and then what we're going to get into today, I think, is going to help show exactly what I mean by the steampunk city taking over the mountain and really changing it to being like their own. Some other minor things that I've been doing is just kind of expanding upon this area here. I had like a little idea here that I wanted to try out, and I think I like it. Essentially, what I've done is there used to be a little cliff here, and I've extended it. And I don't know if I'm actually going to edit this very much. It's very blocky, but this is also it's essentially like exactly what it looked like in regular like vanilla Minecraft. I just extended it up, so maybe that's why it looks a little blocky. But I thought it would be cool to have the road kind of come up here, and the way you get up here is you have to kind of go through this little cave portion here. We'll close this off. This will not be hollow like this. And of course this side either, and the ceiling won't be dirt. But you come up here, run through, road curves around, and then now you're up here, and we could have maybe a small house or some sort of small build up here. Originally, this build was going to be an observatory. I marked it with glass for observatory, but I've had a change of heart. So getting into the lore of this area just a bit, the reason why we're focusing on this portion right here, and this water wheel is going to be playing a bit into it as well, is the steampunk city for this area particularly, their main driving focus is power. And not power as in like power over people, but like actual power to be able to keep this portal going. Because it really helps their trading abilities, because the nether is used for quick transport, because I mean you can go 8 blocks for every 1 block. And so they've figured that out, and that's one big reason why they've made such a big portal, so their ships can actually go through the nether. And so that's how we're going to be really taking advantage of the nether. And I hope I explained that before, but if not, that's what we're doing. But this requires a lot of power, so they're going to have all sorts of different power things to be able to build up lots of power for this area, and they can also use it to power like their town here as well. So they're going to have water wheels, which this is more of a minor one. The main power is going to come from geothermal energy, and also the giant water wheel that's going to be over here. This big old thing right here is going to be a really big water wheel. But I wanted to make this one because it really defines where the height of this build we're going to be doing today is. So what we're going to do is this is going to be like a hot springs, but it's not going to be like a natural hot springs. It's going to be essentially like the geothermal heat that they're collecting. They use to heat up, like they use as a, I don't know exactly how to put it, but essentially the water, say they like have water, they're going to be heating up the water, and when they don't need the water anymore, it dumps into here. This is like a nice little spa type area, and so it's kind of like a side product that they have, like this natural spa that's not natural because they made it, but then it filters out and falls down into the water wheel, and that acts as another power source that they can pull from. Just a very minor one, but it's I don't know, it's a little interesting. One thing I've been working on today as well that is going to be the biggest part of this project. I would love to get this done today. I have been doing a lot of redstone, and you know what? I've been doing, you can follow tutorials. You can follow them, sure. But that's not nearly as fun. So I've spent about 3 hours figuring this out on my own. And I have to say, I am so proud of the final result. We're going to be making it. And it was tough. I've definitely done it in probably one of the more hard ways to do it. The harder ways to do it. But what we're doing is a sort of a slime block elevator. But the problem was it needed to be a multi-floor one where it could stop at the spa area, and then it needed to go to the top of the mountain. Because at the top of the mountain is going to be the observatory. I figured, why in the world would the observatory be down there if they have this mountaintop? So we're going to have the observatory being over on this portion over here of this mountainous area. And then we may actually build it up so it's like on a little bit of an outcropping here that they've made. But then, you know, in Skyrim, when you have like the Tower of, I think one is called the Tower of Mazark, it's the Dwemer Towers. That's essentially what that circle down there is going to be. That is going to be the Tower of Brassington, I guess. And that's where our slime block elevator is going to be. But it's been a pain in the booty to build. I'm not a redstoner. I'm learning, but I'm definitely not one. So it takes me a long time. But that's what we're going to be doing today. And it's going to really flesh out this side. I think this cliff area is going to be pretty much done by the end of this, if I can actually do it. But I'm going to have to do this in stages. I'm not going to do it in a time lapse because, I don't know, we already did a time lapse today. And I don't really want to do it. I don't know. I just kind of want to do it in stages. So let me go ahead and get some more building done, materials gathered, what have you. I think I'm going to try and put the top there on the cliff so I have a little bit of reference as to what I'm working with. And then I'll bring you back in once I have a little bit to show you. All right, I've been doing a bit more work. As you can see, got a bit of an outline. Wanted to bring you in just to kind of get a look at what the outline's going to be like. So let's go ahead and get on up there. Been working on this just a little bit. And so as we've covered, the road goes this way. And then this, I think, is going to stay. I think we're going to keep this and keep this build shape and just make it into something different. Maybe like an energy storage area. I'm not really sure. Maybe just a big old conduit. I'm not sure. But I like the look of this because it helps direct where the road goes. The main road's going to go that way. That leads right into this sort of factory building. And then there's going to be this little area here, which I don't really know what to put here. If you have an idea, we could do another, like if we do a conduit there, we could do like a conduit thing here. Or if you have an idea for this cliff top area, we could do something here as well. Oh, one random idea. So you see those are going to be houses. At least that's what I was thinking. But I think I'm actually going to go back on that and make this into like a market square, like stalls and stuff. I think that could be really nice because it's kind of central to this like entire area up here. So we can have houses that kind of stretch all around. And this is like one big market area right here and where the blue is. And then maybe there's some houses there. I'm not sure. Or a shop or two. I don't know. Just random idea there. I had that thought as I was kind of looking at the area. But as you can see, there's a big old tower that's going to be made. And it's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. It looks really cool once I've got in the creative version of this world that I'm kind of going off of. That's one other thing that I've discovered. So for the longest time, I've been building things with screenshots. Like I will build them in a creative test world and then take screenshots of them and go off those to build. And you know what I've found? I found that building it on my second account actually is so much more helpful because I could just have that world open as I am building. And so like currently I have the creative world open on my camera account. And it's just a literal copy of this world. It's a little different. That's kind of where the plan is. Master plan for this area is, and it's a little bit different, but I'm kind of going off of that, and it's been super helpful. So if you like are trying to figure out how to better do that, maybe if you have two accounts, do that. Instead of taking screenshots, just have both accounts open. It just makes life a whole lot easier. But as you see here, we've got this big entrance here. There's going to be a big old entrance to this. I think it's going to be sort of like a factory. And then there's going to be some of these. I've got some cliff lines laid out where we're going to have some cliffs that go up to right here. And then they've kind of chopped it off and made their building. There's going to be the entrance right here. Don't really know what's going to go on the inside. Haven't really thought that far ahead. But we're going to have this. And then this right here is going to be the elevator. We don't need that anymore. The elevator is going to be a 2x2. and it's going to be a flying machine that stops off at that level, whatever the level this area up here that we're going to work on is at. It's going to stop off there, and then it's going to stop off all the way at the top here. And the reason I'm also going ahead and doing this is because I kind of need this done in order to shape this upper area, because I've kind of got I don't know, it's kind of specific as to the way I've designed it, and so I have to kind of work in chunks like this. But wanted to kind of give you an update there, let you have a little look at what the process is. Now I'm going to go ahead and start filling some stuff in. I'm going to do some detail work on this water wheel as well. And yeah, we're gonna keep on going here. So I'll come back with a little bit more of an update. All right, guys, I am back, and yeah, it's been actually about a week since I last recorded, and sorry for the missed video last week. As many of you know, if you saw the community post I made, I actually just got a little puppy last week, and we were going to be planning on getting him last Thursday. But then we decided, you know what, let's get him earlier. We also were told we could get him earlier by the lady we were getting him from. So one thing kind of led to another, and we got him early. And we've been really loving him, and he's a really sweet little dude. He is 8 weeks old, maybe now 9. And we've been having to keep an eye on him pretty much 24/7. So yeah, that's probably going to affect the next couple of weeks of videos. Just wanted to let you know. But I'm going to still try my best to get some stuff out. Content just may be a little bit slower, just to forewarn you, because first couple of weeks of a new puppy is pretty important for them to get used to you, and also because I have to watch and make sure he doesn't pee in the house. But as you saw, we've done some work, and I've actually done some more work off camera. So this is what we did, what you saw in the time lapse, and just decided to do a time lapse because I had, it was easier to be able to build and kind of just do that and then deal with the actual making of the time lapse. Just a lot easier. So I detailed out the water wheel here and added this sort of gear mechanism underneath, or well, alongside it, and it's essentially like it's rotating and pulling a chain, and that is doing something inside that is providing power. I'm not really sure how, but it was a way for me to add a little bit of detail to this. The nice thing about this whole portal mountain thing is the entire interior of the mountain is not going to be like this factory. We don't really have to build much of it. It's kind of just a facade because we're going to have the interior of the mountain being the nether, so that when you view it, you actually see the nether on the other side there. And so it doesn't need to be like some crazy steampunk stuff inside. I think, which is kind of nice. You kind of can be a little bit, I don't have to build too much of that. So actually, let me go ahead and sleep real quick so that the sun is in a better position, and then we'll keep looking at what I've done. Okay, it's a nice new day, and let's take a look. See here, a little bit closer look up here. As I had said before, this is going to be doing. Oh, I guess I didn't get up there. This is going to be doing geothermal energy stuff, and so what we've got, you see some redstone there. What we've got here is this is the sort of the steam bath sort of stuff, the hot springs of sorts, and I like it. I actually am really happy with how this has turned out. Got a little bit of a thing, makes it look like I put furnaces back there to make it look like drains, and so that's about as much as detail as we have to get on the inside of something like that, and I think it looks good. But one cool trick that you can do is I have the water here flowing, and then down below I actually have fire things, campfires, underneath these here. So it looks like where it's hitting is actually steaming, and as it cools down, I thought that was really cool. Now this doesn't really lead anywhere. Right now it just falls back into the ocean. I'm going to make some sort of pipe catch tube type of thing, and I think that it'll be almost like it filters back through some sort. And one of the things that you may be wondering is, where's this water coming from? This water wheel, well, this circle right here is going to be a giant pipe that we're going to have kind of like sink down here into the ocean. And so we're just going to continue like pulling water from the ocean and sort of replacing it as it goes. But that is the little water wheel here. And then this is what I've done off camera. This is a gigantic elevator, and as I said, it's like the Tower of Mazark in Skyrim. And so we've got the elevator, and I had to do some crazy redstoning that I have honestly never done before, but it is done. So we've got 2 different note blocks here that we can hit when we want to go somewhere. This is a recall, so that it actually, something cool that it does is, well, if I can get up there, let's do this. Boom. If we do this, what it is essentially you push the button, and it will push this piston and turn this column of water into a bubble vader of sorts, which will activate the observer, which will activate the elevator up there to release if it's on this floor or if it's on this floor. So it just makes this entire column of water a bubble thing, and makes each observer on that level and then all the way up there fire and send the elevator back down. So I thought that was a really cool little easy way of making it so it retracts, or so that this can come back down. Creeper. So each note block goes to a different floor. This goes all the way to the top, and then this goes to the bathhouse. So let's go to the bathhouse first. And it is a flying slime block elevator, if you didn't know. And it's kind of cool. This will shove out, boom, and stop it. And then we will have a obsidian thing around it, but then we'll have a little walkway that goes out here. And maybe this will be some form of, I don't really know what to put out here. What do you think should go out here? I may have the mountain come down a little bit and interact with this building as if it's like built into the mountain a bit. But that is, well, okay, I guess we're going to test out this guy here. So it should, there we go. So I don't really know what I want to do with this. I've got the mountain coming down like this currently, and I may stick with that and just have it kind of feed into this upper area and be like almost an upper patio. But let's ride it to the top, and I'll see you when we get there. All right. Well, we have arrived, and as you see, nothing is up here. I've made a little grass platform just to give me a basis to work from, but we're not going to be doing anything else in this episode, but I wanted to go over just a quick idea that I had with you. So this is the tower, and it's going to extend up about this tall. We'll slap a roof on it. But what I'm thinking about doing actually is making it so the walkway, actually, the tower comes up to this line, this area here, this level. And I was thinking maybe we'll have an outside walkway pop out on the other side and have this portion right here have like an outcropping that goes up even further. Or this will come up even further and this will like bring the cliff side up even more. And that side will be even sheerer in terms of like from this side to this side. And then I may actually bring that out a little bit more and make that even taller. And the observatory will be like on this almost raised pedestal of sorts, natural mountain pedestal. But I've got a really cool reference to go off of, and I'm really excited. We're going to probably do that maybe next episode or start getting into that. But guys, I am afraid that is going to have to do it for this episode because this thing took forever. I mean, seriously, look at all this redstone-y stuff. So this is just for that one floor. But then down there, there's quite a bit of stuff going on. And this was built by me. I figured out how to do it. I did look at some tutorials as to how to like stop a flying machine. But then beyond that, this was a huge learning experience for me, especially with like how torches interact with blocks and how you can turn torches on and off. It was a pain, but I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of doing things on like doing this myself without coming like doing something like that's just a tutorial that then I would link below. So I am very happy with it. I know this isn't like really a building episode, but this took way longer than I thought it was going to, and hopefully you can appreciate at least the redstoniness of it. I need to get a roof on it so that it doesn't get any snow. But yes, that's going to do it for this episode. It's been a wild ride, and I have a puppy to take care of. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Hopefully I will be able to get a video out to you next week as well. I may have to throw in a few pure time-lapse episodes that are like sort of half episodes or something, just to continue building and stuff here, and put out content for y'all, but to be able to manage the puppy in these first few weeks. So I don't know. I don't really know what's the plan, but I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I think that's going to do it. So if you like the video, leave a like in real life, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.